Light on set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Let's Poddy podcast with your host, Benji Weatherly. It's the podcast where you learn absolutely nothing.
This is fun for me because I don't know too much about our next guest. I knew our last guest because I watched her grow up from fucking birth because she was the daughter of one of my best friends. But this is going to be great because for one, before I introduce his name, it seems like the only Skips with guys named Skip are from La Jolla. It's the weirdest shit. Is it short for Skipper?
It's actually Skip Raha. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
It's just, it's just Skip. Yeah, I think
so. Skip is what your parents called.
Yeah,
you.
just 4 letters. S-K-I-P. Yeah.
And how do you say your last name?
McCullough.
McCullough, and that's Irish.
I think it's Scottish.
Or Scottish.
Yes.
Okay. So your parents knew that Skip was a trendy name in La Jolla when they named you?
Yeah, I think they were like, you know what, it worked for that guy, so you know what.
So the little backstory about the Skip name is when I was a little kid and fucking who was the best surfer there? The guy from the late 70s, 80s.
Chris O'Rourke?
Not that name too, but this
David Eggers.
For sure, David Eggers. And he was friends with Skip, a guy named Skip, and there was always a Skip in La Jolla. And isn't there another young little surfer named Skip from there?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
a dope name that they only use in La Jolla, which is kind of random.
Yeah. No, I think there's a couple coming up the chain. Yeah, every 10 years they sign one.
Does that mean you have to be a good fisherman? Because if I call someone Skip, they're usually driving a vessel for me to surf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're kind of inherently born with those skills. You know what I mean? Like. I've never really been on a boat as a skipper, but if you want me to be,
dude, I just want to talk about a bunch of stuff. So La Jolla is a place that I grew up to. My little brother lives there. He's never left, and more power to him. He's being a lifeguard down there. He's got a great life. La Jolla is amazing. You've had a lot of hype in the last few months from swells that we never get here. I mean, I've been in La Jolla. Sand Point was the only spot I got barreled, like the footage I watched of you the other day. I was like, wow, that was a really sick barrel, but it happened once in my life.
Yeah.
And so you're born and raised in La Jolla.
Yep.
And your parents surfed?
My dad's a surfer. My mom is not. She boogie boards a little bit, but yeah.
So my little brother gave me a little insight, and he says, I mean, everybody in San Diego, we just had Machado's daughter here, and Machado, Taylor Knox, Eggers, we have about 10 pro surfers that have made it out of San Diego. Not a lot. I mean, for how good the waves are here and shit. So you're kind of the guy right now that I keep hearing about, and it keeps coming up. And my little brother's like, dude, Skip's the man. And the cool part about where you're from is it's almost like you just stay in La Jolla and you can grow like a subculture of your legend. Right. And this sounds corny and sounds like I'm making shit up, but it's true. Like there's a place called Molina's and there's a couple waves that only break a few times a year. And you're the guy riding these waves that me and Travis Molina and all these guys used to ride. And it's been a while since I've heard another guy going and actually kind of have a lore in La Jolla. And it's dope. And it's the kind of blowing your horn and shit. But I want people to know that where we are from in La Jolla and all these places around here, you don't really have too many guys that go almost a national news. I mean, the other day you went viral with these fucking clips, and they were legit clips. It almost made us. I bet you people in Australia are like, their waves are that good, and they're going to come here, and they're going to think they're getting those barrels.
Yeah,
that was once in a lifetime, and maybe you've had it a few times like that, but I've never seen fucking. Am I allowed to say these names? What is that wave called? Horse dick.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll just say horse dick, but it's called something else. But yeah, I've never seen it like that. Has that been like that in your lifetime?
I mean. Not really. I'm mentally prepared to never surf a day like that again in my life. You know what I mean?
That's a San Diego surfer.
Yeah, it's all right. that was the moment. I'm gonna capitalize on it because, like you said, you might be an old man or you might never see it before you get another day like that. So
it is. It's
true.
Being an East Coast surfer. Those guys. When Barley is a good example. If the wave is good in the East Coast, he's there no matter what.
Yeah,
and it's life or death. This could be the last day I ever get waves like this. He has that, and it seems like you're the Brett Barley of West Coast.
Yeah, I think
you're going after it.
Well, thank you, dude. Yeah, I think I've been around long enough now to know that that's true, you know, like I got this, like a big swell at Sandy Point when I was a kid. And then you kind of just think it's always like that. And then, you know, 10 years went by and I never saw another day like that. So yeah, now I have some wisdom. And
when I saw those waves the other day, I'm like, oh fuck, that's at Sandy Point. Because you guys had drone shots too. And when you were coming out of the barrel, I was like, oh, that's that Sand Point wave. I go, it's that wave. If it breaks, is a world-class wave. But how was Sand Point on that swell? Was it not good?
No, I mean, I didn't look at it, so
I
it could have been good. I don't want to say it wasn't.
It's funny because fucking horseshoe or dick shoe or whatever we're going to call it in this podcast, I've never seen it. It's so shifty and it's so hard. You were surfing at the very end on the north side? Is that, or is it way up south?
Like the deepest
south
portion, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering because it's this wave we're talking about. That's another like nod to his surfing. It's not easy to ride. The La Jolla waves are weird. They boils and you're like,
they're not
it's
perfect.
not hollow and then it gets hollow and there's a lot to it. It's like West Oz but ghetto. And yeah, those clips are amazing. And it's let me just tell you what's cool about it. What we're saying is the lore that he's created from getting this one swell, because that's the corny surf movie. It's like the big Wednesday, the biggest day to ever live. And it's like this lore, right? Well, that day, Saxon Boucher put it on our thread with all of our friends, you know, all the fucking best surfers of all time and all these people. And Saxon was giddy, sending these photos of you standing in these barrels. He's like, this is my hometown, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, I've never seen this. And he's freaking out.
Yeah.
And the cool part about that is you're going to be my age. Never. You're never going to live this long. Especially if you're trying to be fucking a rock star and shit. No, you're gonna live way out.
I probably won't. No, I'm not.
You're never gonna get to my age. No, I'm kidding. But the thing is you're gonna hear about this fucking swell. Like if you're from Hawaii and you surf pipe every day, you get these crazy waves, and people are like, "Dude, that was sick for like a week at Foodland."
Yeah.
And then the next week, someone gets a better wave.
Yeah.
Right? But you have done something in this little town of, you know, we keep dropping La Jolla. Just so you know, you're never gonna get these waves in La Jolla, so don't even come. So
thank you for that.
And the cool part is that's going to be when you're old and gray and stupid and fat like me, you're going to be on the fucking horseshoes or hospital's little fucking place where you're looking at the waves and you're going to be like, you guys, they're going to come up and be like, dude, you're a part of the, what is it, 2024? Or was it 23?
24.
24.
24 shit.
Yeah. 2024, you know, and like, it's just going to be something that people are going to remember forever. So it was really cool because I heard about it and I don't even follow surfing as much as I should. And it's cool to hear a local kid getting his due when I've heard your humble story, which is what we should be going to the beginning. When you're little, did you compete? I want to know all about that because I don't know anything, but I know now you're a general contractor and you have a real job and you work your ass off and get all these clips. So respect to that, straight up. But let's start in the beginning when you're a little kid. Like when you first started surfing, you're probably 7 or 8 or some shit.
On this podcast, we love supporting quality products and awesome people. That's why we're so stoked to partner with Dark Arts Surfboards and their lineup of shapers. Dark Arts boards are faster, stronger, lighter, and ready for wherever you decide to paddle out. And these carbon fiber boards aren't just for high-performance surfers. With shaping collaborations from Tomo, Paizel, JT, T. Patterson, Album, Rusty, DHD, and more, there's a Dark Arts board for everyone. Head to their site, darkartsurf.com, to check out their full lineup of surfboards.
I think I was like maybe even younger. I got an older brother who taught me how to surf. And I have like some of my earliest memories. My brother would stand me on the board and like hold my feet. So I didn't even know how to like stand up. He would just stand me on the board. And
you're
like,
irregular.
Yeah, regular. So he would
just start regular?
Yeah. I think. And then he would just push me into a wave.
Cool, brother.
So I think I always kind of just knew how to surf since I was like maybe 4 or 5 probably. And then when I was 10, I asked my dad if I could do the NSSAs, and he agreed. And, you know, I thought I was ripping. And then you get to the NSSAs and there's all these kids from all over, you know,
juicing,
Orange County, juicing,
got coaches,
rip curl stickers everywhere, Billabong. Yeah, just the whole thing. And then my dad took me and my friend up there and we just got completely smoked in the first round, you know? Mm-hmm. And
how it starts.
And yeah, so like maybe me and my dad thought I had what it took, but you know, you get to the big leagues, the NSSA 10 and under division, and you know, you got a lot of work to do. And I was never the best surfer around, but thankfully my dad helped me out a lot. Like I used to have a really wide stance, and he would I was having trouble correcting it, and he made like a bar across my board with wax. And then on front of it, there's a skull and crossbones, like towards the, it hurt. It super hurt my
your
chest.
dad's like, I don't care about your chest, son. Your fucking stance is
Yeah,
down.
but don't put your foot in front of that line. So,
That's so funny.
yeah, I'm trying to get better, but yeah, it took a lot of work, you know, from an early age, just the wide stance thing. I had a super wide stance. I had a bow leg too. Yeah. I'd come in, my dad's like, you're surfing like freaking David Bowie out there. Tuck that knee in.
Oh my God, your dad's
so
bad.
If, I like now I'm just like, if I just hope I have like decent style. Like I don't even care if I do an air or anything. I just hope like the style's decent at this point, because I don't want to be David Bowie or wide stance guy.
That's so fucking funny. Your dad is so considerate for his own well-being. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no,
he's like, I don't want my son to suck.
I think he would tell you that too. He's like, oh, I don't want to be like, I don't want my
God.
kid to be like the bow leg guy. But
that's some La Jolla shit right there.
Yeah. Did your dad like?
He never really surfed. He tried one time with us and broke the board. When it was here in Cardiff. He pearled, and he was like, I was a surfer, and like, all stuff. He was a big athlete guy, but he never surfed.
Yeah.
He never even would go to the beach and shit with us. But go back to you. Like, so this is the cool part is, so you're now competing, but I saw you're on the WSL, you've done QSs and done all that stuff. And what happened when you first started doing the like WS? Because you went through the NSSA, and how'd it go? Did it go right?
Yeah, I eventually you know, found some success. You know, I won one open men's at Oceanside, and I think
how old were you at that time?
I think I was 16. Okay. Janice just recently reposted the photo. Andrew Jacobson. Griffin
Janice
Colapinto.
is the lady that runs the NSSA. She's been running that thing since I was alive.
Was she running it?
Janice is
when
that
you were
name
there?
and NSSA has been my whole life. So
Yeah.
she's been running for 40 years. So your life and my life. It's
That's insane. Yeah, you got to hand it to her.
Fucking, what is it in Huntington? The Walk of Fame.
Yeah, if she doesn't already have one already, she deserves like the first one,
Right,
you know, or the biggest one, or like
man.
double
She's been
her
taking
hand or
care of
something.
all of us forever.
Yeah, dude. Did she have the red licorice by any chance? Do you remember
Probably.
that
That
detail?
sounds familiar.
Yeah,
for sure. I always did the contests in Hawaii, so I did the HSF.
Oh, okay.
But I'd go to Oceanside for the nationals and all stuff, and it was always Janice. She was Janice. But it's cool to see like people that are in surfing that care so much are not going anywhere. Like we just talked about Jim Machado. Jim Machado used to run the NSSA.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a photo that it was on our thread, and it's Kelly, Rob, Taylor Knox, and they're all like 12 in Oceanside, and Jim's got the NSSA sweater on, and he's the coach.
No way.
He was the coach when I went to the Worlds and everything. He's been the man. So yeah, it's cool. So you went from the 16 being in NSSA, winning your first open, and when we say open series, there's like even in amateurs, there's two levels. There's the novice and open, or
Explorer and open.
Fuck,
Yes,
I can't believe I forgot that. It would repercharge heats too.
Yeah,
and Explorer was like the kids that were good, but they weren't on the open, and so winning an open at 16 is almost it's like the minor leagues of MLB baseball. Excuse me. So you're like literally going against kids that are going to be pro at that point. So it's like that's a big achievement to win an open. Sick.
Yeah. I guess, you know, this is why we're here. I'll just brag a little bit. Griffin Colapinto was in the final, but he was like 2 years or 3 years younger than me. So like you look at the photo,
blown ankle, no knee.
yeah.
No,
just
huge.
to like prove your point. Like
Yeah.
Griffin's like, you know, Griffin, and he went through the NSSAs.
Yeah,
And,
that's what I'm saying.
you know,
You win
like-
against one of the world. He's third in the world right now. People that don't know about surfing are listening to this, Griffin is number 3 in the world, and he beat him in that final. That's what I'm saying. Like you're going against the best at that age, and in the NSSA. NSSA is literally the highest amateur contest. We have a bunch of little leagues, but NSSA that's where we have our national titles, and you know it's a little league for fucking pro surfing. So you're at 16, you win that one, and you're like, okay, now I have confidence, and then that's when you're like, I might want to try to go pro.
Yeah. So let's see. I think I actually kind of took a year off from competing, probably like my senior year in high school. I was just kind of like a bit burned out, and I think I just wanted to like get barreled instead. You know what I mean? And then so I kind of like did that for a year. I just was like kind of, I don't know, I must have been burned out or something. And then I was on the North Shore, and I was at the Haleiwa contest, like the Triple Crown event. And dude, the guys were just ripping, and it was just like so sick to watch. Like, dude, I want to get in this event. So the next year, I was probably like 19. I did like my first full year on the QS. And then, yeah, so I think I did the QS full time if I was 19 for like 5 years, more or less.
Nice.
And I'm kind of retired from the competitive scene.
Sounds
now.
like my career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did the QS for fucking like 12 or 15 years.
Yeah.
But thing is what's cool about what you're doing is similar to what I was doing, but I was lucky to have like Taylor Steele and these people making movies, so I got to travel and do it for like 28 years, like crazy amount of time. But what you're doing right now is owning your home turf. It's almost like Taj. He made a career of just living in his yelling up and making videos and actually dominating his home turf. And it goes a long way. And it goes a lot further than getting like 9th place in QSs and no one even hears about or cares.
Yeah.
So you get like this new kind of light, and that's what you have right now. And you got to run with it. And you're 28?
28, yep.
You're 28, you have tons of time to fuck around. And it looks like you go to Max, you got all these little strike missions, right? And then even JoJo, our boy Roper, is an old legend, pipe surfer, San Diego legend. His son is he doesn't have the shortboard, ability that Skip has, but he charges big waves and he's making his own little career. And
yeah, he's
I'm proud
on
of
it.
that kid. He's been going after. He leaves his ski in my backyard for like 3 years.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no way.
And yeah, he's doing great. And it's like you two kids are like kind of holding it down for San Diego surfing right now. So
yeah,
cool.
No, it's
way better than winning Brazil 6-star, and none of us give a shit.
Yeah, you know what? It's just kind of it's kind of that. And for me, like, it was fun to travel to like cool places and compete, you know, like there was like an event at Karamas. There was an event at Neos, HTs.
Those are all three of the best ways ever to do a contest.
That's
like so fun.
So it was like, you know, even if you lost your heat, you could be out there the next morning, like scoring somewhere in Indo. And they kind of took that away from us on the QS. And it just wasn't the same tour that I signed up for in the beginning. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to like, you know.
Start a life.
Yeah, I'm just going to like use that money, those funds to just go surf rather than, you know.
Waste it on something that's not real.
Yeah.
It really is like I made the final on J-Bay. I made a final Billabong Pros a couple times and stuff. And they were cool. That was fun. It was cool. But the only thing that really matters is those trips with your friends where you're getting jacked.
Yeah.
And the cool part is right now you're doing something which we're about to talk about. I want to ask you. When I was done surfing, I was 38, 39, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I actually had a production company. I did stuff for my career, but I didn't really plan for after it. I was going to do a brewery in Bali. I sold my house. That was my plan. Not a real plan because I never worked. I never had a fucking job, right? My whole life. Except surfing. And then to say it wasn't a job is actually disrespectful. But I knew how to promote my own being for an athletic ability. But I didn't know how to work. So I was freaked out. And it really freaked me out in a way where you can't even imagine being that age and then being terrified about the things that people do every single day, which is a job, right? And the one thing I'm gathering from your life, from talking to my brother, her, everybody, is you're a general contractor, which is something that's already admirable if you're 40. And you're 28, you're doing that. How did that happen? And who got you into being a general contractor? Did you work on the side doing construction and you're like, you know what, I could probably just take the job and be the man? How did that all work?
So I pretty much, like, when I graduated high school, I would work for my dad. He's a landscape contractor. So, you know, I've been around my dad and his contracting business since I was a little kid. But I was just like, you know, just like grunt laborer, you know, which was like fine, you know, at the time, just, you know, go dig and plant stuff and move stuff, you know, and work for a month, make that much money and then go on another surf trip, go to a contest. So I've always like worked ever since I got out of high school, like in between surfing and stuff. And eventually I wanted to like have my own business. And I was more interested in construction. And I was like, just thinking like, what should I do? What should I do? And my dad hired me to build like a fence and a gate on his side yard. And I'd never built a fence or a gate in my life, but I just, figured it out. And after that, I asked my dad, I said, hey, what about like a fence business? Like, do those guys make any money? He's like, oh, it's a super good idea. Like, go for it. Like, you'll kill it. Like, just go for it. I'm like, I don't know how to build fences or gates. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Just make a business card and just go for it. Like I'll help you, or, you'll figure it out. And, so yeah, that night I ordered like 1,000 business cards that just said McCullough Fence and Gate, and, started my little fence business. And that's like a nice little business that I still have. But,
no, don't even think we're going past that. So did someone call you on your card and say, hey, I want you to build me a fence? And you're like, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
And you had to figure it out?
Yeah, kind of. Like there was like, I had the card. I started handing it out.
That was the time where the first guy that goes, hey, I got your card. Can you come over and build a fence?
You know what? Happened? Yeah, honestly, it was more like and it still kind of is my business, just word of mouth, Mm-hmm. Like the word kind of got out that I build fences.
Do you remember making the first fence and being like, okay, Dad, I need a little help here?
Yeah. So there was a couple guys on his crew that knew how to build fences. And like looking back now, like I can just like basically build a fence in my sleep. So there's really like not much to it.
That's why your dad said, make the cards. We got this.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a starting point.
Yeah.
You can do anything. You can play Metallica songs.
Yeah.
You just got to learn it.
You just got to learn it. Exactly.
And that's why I'm trying to get this out of you, is trying to get people to hear this, is you got to have a starting point, and you got to, and like we were just talking with Rose, fake it till you make it. It's really the real truth of getting something done.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
Yeah.
You can figure it out on the job.
Yeah, you can figure it out on the fly.
So did the first fence come out pretty good? Or could you have a little help? And then there's nothing to be ashamed of having your dad or a mentor or people help you in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
You have to have that. That's important.
So probably for like 6 months ish, I would build fences with a couple of the guys on the crew, Ramon and Octavio and his brother Raimundo. Shout out to those guys. And after like 6 months, I thought I was just like the man, like, oh, I got this. Yeah. So then I was like, I just want to do my own thing. Like, this is the whole reason I wanted to start my own business, is so I don't have to like be like subordinate to somebody.
Right. You're like, I want to get low tide, fuckers.
Yeah. So, so yeah, do you know New York Mike Murciano?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He hired me kind of for my
Nixon
first,
or whatever.
Yeah. He worked for Nixon forever.
Yep.
He hired me to build a fence, and that was kind of one of my, thank you, Mike, for trusting my business. If
New
you're
York
listening.
Mike, I love that name.
Yeah. I still don't know why they call him that, but that's how I know him. But yeah, I did it. I figured it out. Looking back now, how I built that fence, I would have never done it that way.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, sorry, Mike.
It's like fell down after that storm.
Yeah, no, the thing's under warranty still. If it falls down, I'll gladly put the thing back up.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out great. The thing's straight, it's level, but like just looking back, I'm like,
right?
dude, I can't believe I don't even know how I did it. Like, it was so bad the way that I did it. The end result was the same, but just the way I did it was just so bad. It probably took like a whole week.
It's like
probably
having
just like,
your surf part, your very first one. You look at later and you're like, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And, it's just like anything, you get better and better. So that Mike, and luckily New York Mike has probably moved like 9 houses by now, because that motherfucker moves.
Yeah.
Or does he? Saxon was his neighbor, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. You know what? I want to say he's probably at the same house.
He's at the same house?
Yeah. But who knows?
That's so fucking funny. So, okay, now that we're in the construction world, we started with fence. Do you have other things going on now? Or
Yeah.
Ironically, she knows my older brother, Jason Wilson, makes all the fences in Hawaii.
Yeah. I've talked to him before.
Really, Jason?
Yeah, because we're both like fence guys.
Jason would love this motherfucker right here.
Yeah,
he's the man, dude. Jay is the man.
Yeah.
He works his ass up. But yeah, he does fences, and he was doing all kinds of stuff. He can do anything. But when he found out that every nice house on the North Shore needs fences, dude, that guy's mastered it.
Yeah.
Watch.
That's the good part about a fence business, is no matter how good you build it, I don't care if it's 5 years or 500 years, the thing's gonna fall someday.
Right, totally.
So it's like
He
every
repairs
fence
them.
is gonna fall over.
John's got
eventually.
like 10 of them on the fucking North Shore that he has to repair like every day.
Yeah, you know, he probably keeps the guy in business.
Yeah,
you know
John
what I mean?
keeps J-Dubs in the business for sure.
Yeah. So
Do you get enjoyment from being a contractor?
yeah, so for a while it was like kind of like turned into kind of a drag, you know. I'm like, dude, like working sucks. Like I just want to surf and this and that. But I've since like construction is like kind of like a sport where you can like get faster, better, more technique, sharper tools. And like the faster you do something, the more money you make. So like as soon as I started like thinking about construction like a sport, like I want to get really good at it. You know, I want to like just go in and like do something in like a day and like boom, you know, like make the money. Like, so as soon as I started thinking about it like a sport, then yeah, like I do enjoy it. It's fun. It's like get some adrenaline sometimes, you know, like shit hits the fan and you got to figure it out. And
the coolest thing about your trade is where I'm building a restaurant right now. My contractor is my partner, and watching him, I learned how to build not to like throw that, but I built the fence there.
Nice.
He taught me how to do it and all these other things. And I watch him work and the adrenaline, but not only that, but just the respect you have for people that can build stuff. And then at the end, you got something to look at and it stands forever. That I think is what will drive you later, is like all your accomplishments. All my general contractors drive through La Jolla, and I have a bunch of friends that do it. And they'll have their brand new big old giant house that they just built, and it's like, dude, that's like a trophy.
Yeah,
it's literally like winning a WQS.
Yeah,
like, here we go, baby.
And it's gonna be there forever.
And that family's gonna use it, and it's gonna have stories, and it's gonna grow and be better. And it's like, fuck, dude. At the end of most jobs that people work at desks, they leave, and there's no trophy.
Yeah, there's no like.
So and you build shit, dude. You're gonna teach your kids how to build shit.
Yeah, it's cool. Like you stand back at the end of a job and you look at something like, damn, like we did it. Like that was a lot of work, but like, look, it's beautiful, you know? So there's a lot of those moments too that are like really rewarding. And
you're going to build your own house one day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
How cool is that going to be? That's what Jason Wilson just did.
Oh yeah.
Built his own home finally, because he's always not had enough money, and he's the best father, all this stuff, but he just finally built it. You went up there a couple of times. I mean, they haven't even had floors in it for a long time because they've been going so slowly.
Yeah.
Not, you know, but they're getting there, and he's the best builder. So yeah, it's a cool trait, but is it still something that when the waves are good and you have to work, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. But it's all in the name of surfing. You know what I mean? Like I've been like super busy the last couple weeks working, but I know like my time's gonna come again. Like this summer, I'll have saved up some money again.
Totally,
it'll be my turn to.
Totally. The waves surf, are always there.
Yeah.
The hard part is when you're involved, like Slater's the only one, and Dorian, no, he's gone. But Kelly still has that feeling that I had my whole life until like 5 years ago, since 8 years ago, where if you heard the waves are good, you actually felt sick to your stomach. You're like, oh, fuck, I just missed oh my God, it was that good. And you see it fall, you're like bummed.
Yeah.
I can see it now. Like I even saw your photos from La Jolla, the place I surfed my whole life. And I wasn't even bummed. Yeah. I was like, cool, man. That's sick.
Yeah, no way.
And you just lose it eventually because you can't feel that forever or you'll drive yourself crazy. But Kelly's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking lunatic. He's about to wake up tomorrow and surf against fucking 20-year-old kids.
Yeah.
He's a fucking psychopath. But he doesn't want to miss any of it. And it's it's admirable, but at the same time, it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. And
if you're a contractor and you fucking have that crazy anxiety.
Yeah, because construction takes so much time. So it's like, all right, either this thing's going to take like a month and I'm going to like surf in the mornings, or it's going to take me a week and I'm not going to surf all week.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to like.
That's dope. But the cool part is the people that you build for are going to be going to their friends. He's the guy that I want to pay to get my job done, because every minute costs money for the people that are building these projects. And if you can get them done quicker, it's worth everything.
Yeah, like people probably think I'm
most contractors are sitting at the jetty drinking beer, laughing, smoking cigarettes, and there are people waiting to move in their house like, are you here? And they're like, fuck off.
Yeah. So it's like,
Skip.
I'm on my own time crunch, like, oh, you're on a time crunch? I'm on my own time crunch,
right? You have your own life to live.
Yeah, so, it's all like, every day is like, all right, like if I can get this done, that's like another week in Indo, or like this like a month in Mexico if I can get this thing done, like it's like, I don't know. It's all in the name of surfing. It's just so I can get some more waves, and like have a open schedule.
And security, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the cool part is you're having those moments and those waves just recently because you weren't fighting on QSs and all that stuff. You were taking care of your life through another avenue, and you can actually have that. Literally, when you went out surfing that day, it looked like you were in a good place.
Yeah.
Instead of being worried about if the sponsor is going to sponsor you for sandals and like, am I going to be able to go to fucking Brazil for the 3-star? And you're worrying about all that stuff, and you're not free to go get shacked at your home break. So it seems like it worked out perfect, the timing of that swell, because we're never going to have waves like that again. Just so you know, you should just probably retire. But
I'm thinking about it. Yeah,
I
why
want to
not?
know is
Walk away.
Where were your best waves you've ever got around the world? Like, did you go on a ton of traveling over your QS tour too?
Yeah.
What the best waves you got?
Best waves.
Is there videos with you out there with some clips that you want to shout out? Like, dude, I don't know surf videos that much anymore. So, like, where's your best surf part or anything like online? Is there a bunch of YouTube shit?
Me and my friend Ryan Johnson made a video called Skip's Holy Video, and it's like 4 years old now. But
It's your travels and shit.
it's like my my pride and joy as far as video parts go.
Say it again.
Skip's Holy Video.
It's on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
We're gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna be watching that later.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You know Dan Plant? Does that name ring any bells? Newscast?
I know Dan and a plant, but I don't know them.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, but I'm sure he's cool as fuck. I'm just being a dick.
Yeah,
Sorry, Dan.
No, it's okay. I appreciate it.
Is he a filmer?
No, he's like a news anchor on KUSI. And
Is he Ron Burgundy's brother?
They based Anchorman off of him.
This. Now, Dan, I am sorry.
Yeah.
Milk was a bad choice. I mean, honestly, I'm in
Yeah.
a glass of emotions right now.
Yeah, so
Damn it.
we
We just talked about the fact that the Momentum crew is so iconic that Kelly's been on Baywatch and Rob was on fucking Anchorman. I still can't believe they put Rob on Anchorman. That's just crazy.
And the first one?
The first one, he's in the very end where he's the bass player in the band, and it's the
When he's like,
you haven't seen it?
Ron Burgundy's jazz flute, that part?
I think it's the credits or something, and it's him and he's the bass player.
No
with the
way.
Afro and disco fucking 70s.
I did not know that.
Shout out to fucking Will Ferrell for putting Robbie Todd in there.
Yeah.
That shit made me so
That's
happy because
insane.
that was one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, so your buddy is Ron Burgundy.
That's the rumor.
Did he put some of your fucking waves of the decade or 100 years storm on the news?
KUSI?
A little bit?
I don't think they did. I could have like maybe nudged it on there, but there was no need. I just
no
kept it on
need.
social.
You just don't want people to go out to horse dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Not
I get it.
welcome.
Not welcome out there. It doesn't even matter. It's so hard to catch the right wave. The best part about being a local at hard waves to surf, like Rob at fucking Seaside, he'll paddle you in a direction and then he'll start laughing and go inside and go over to a boil and be like, "Hi, later."
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, dude, horseshoe. If you don't know what's going on, you're not gonna surf. So
Yeah.
you're by yourself anyway.
And then if you do figure it out, then you got to go through me.
Then you got to get dropped in on by Skip.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Skip dropping in on you.
Skip's like, I got a meeting at a contracting
Yeah.
fucking thing at 7. Sorry.
Yeah, I got like the angry construction worker excuse, like
I've seen those at New Break a lot.
yeah, so exactly like I don't really pull that card, but if I have to, I will.
Yeah, do it as long as you can.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be this young kid named Skip. You're like, wait, and then he's gonna drop in on you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna
There's
keep
another
going.
Skip
Evolution.
coming up the pipe. Skip Fry's probably just like, dude, not another one, dude.
So what kind of boards do you ride?
Xanadu's.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I rode for Xanadu for a long time.
Oh yeah?
I love Xanadu's boards.
Yeah,
He's a
he
good-
makes-
shout out to you, Zanny. That guy's the shit. He's always made incredible boards. That's
Yeah.
a good board.
It's
Xanadu's
a great
amazing.
board. It's just he's the master. I just let him do his thing. I give him my input and then he runs with it. I don't question his
He was my
expertise. So
campaign part. I rode Xanadu board.
oh really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I was just thinking it's campaign or Stranger in Fiction, one of those ones. His boards are just have such spark. It's insane. I love the concaves, the rails,
Yeah.
the edge, his edge, and then the flip. And then does he still do a flip?
Yeah,
Not as
it's
much
gotten
so,
more
yeah.
like contemporary, you know, it's like all the boards are kind of, I don't know, they're just different.
Yeah, he's
But
a
he's got his
Brazilian
own
shaper,
twist, you know?
By the way, everybody out there, Xanadu doesn't have the smoke that he used to have. I mean, he was the guy, and now, like literally, I don't see him ever. But then again, I'm never around anybody that doesn't ride a fucking Slater design. So
Yeah. He's still the same guy with the same eye and the same hands. So,
he's rad.
it's like, He was making good boards in those days.
That's Donovan's sponsor, by the way.
Oh,
Donovan
really?
Xanadu's first is Brad Gerlach in Donovan. Donovan repped it. You got a cover in Xanadu.
No way.
Yeah, so I'm interested in what Annie's gonna ask because she always comes up with rad questions.
Okay, Annie. Me and Annie are friends.
I know.
Yeah.
Just in case anybody's curious.
Yeah, Skip and I met, just to give a little history, we met on the North Shore of Oahu like almost exactly a year ago.
Probably
now.
like this time last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and Skip was out there surfing with Zeke.
Yep.
And I had been trying to link up with Zeke for like 2 years to film.
Yeah.
Because we met through Colby Raha. Like,
Oh, I was gonna say, hey, I almost
like in
brought
a
that up.
disjointed
Sorry to
kind of
interrupt.
way.
He's fucking Kobe Raha. So Kobe was a construction worker.
Yeah.
Started
True.
building his own
True.
ramps, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm just gonna win the X Games. Like,
Yeah.
hold my tractor."
Yeah.
Right. Just not. Sorry to interrupt, but she brought Kobe in because a friend of hers. And when I heard you say that, I was like, "Holy shit, this is another
I
story."
didn't know
like-
that about him.
And
I'm a
he's
fan
a
of his
rad
work.
ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he's a humble contractor, and everyone's like, "Dude, you should start riding like for real."
Yeah.
And he ends up winning the vaccine. Sorry, but I just want to put that. This is our surfer Kobe Roja right here.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
So it's
That guy's
super
gnarly.
cool.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
he's
I watch
nuts.
his YouTube videos. So
He's fucking
Thank
out of his
you.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he-
now go
Colby
back.
did construction so he could ride, and
Yeah.
you do your contracting so you can surf.
whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, trust me, it's way more admirable than being some little rich kid that's fucking down there every day on a Sprinter van. So just so you know, respect.
Yeah. No, thank you, bro.
It's awesome.
We all wish we were the rich kid in the Sprinter van, but we all,
Well,
unfortunately,
you
we're
get
not.
the things in life from purpose and having something hard to do every day.
Yeah.
We just found out that Rose Machado had a gangster fucking upbringing on a little island off of Africa. And it's why she came to California when she's 13 and says, I can get anything done here. I own this place. And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the confidence
gnarly.
came from that. If she's
Yeah.
from here, she'd be insecure and psycho.
Yeah, yeah. I did not
So,
know that. That's,
yeah,
yeah.
we all get out of life is from doing hard shit. But go back to your question. Sorry.
But then we happened to be in Oahu at the same time again 2 weeks ago, and finally got to hang out and film more. And
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
was
now
sick.
here.
I didn't know you were there. I was walking out to go surf, piping off the wall, and Annie's like, "Hey, Skip," and I was like, "Oh, what up, Annie?" And then we got a super sick Instagram reel
Yeah.
out of the encounter. So thank you for filming that day. That was like unplanned, and we got a sick Instagram post. I was super stoked on
does
those.
she miss waves? I'm
I
just
don't-
kidding.
you didn't miss any of my
filmed
waves
so
that
I
day.
don't
well.
miss
She filmed
waves.
so well.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, did you come in and go, why didn't you get that one wave?
I didn't even have a filmer, so actually no. I had a filmer.
no, Snacks was there.
Snacks and Eli were there.
You're sure off the wall you got filmers.
Yeah, like yeah,
Everyone's
that's
there.
true. That's
You
true.
can't
No,
Everybody
no
has
wave
one.
goes
No.
unseen.
No.
Cool ass spot though. I think I saw your clips. Was it on your Instagram?
Yeah,
Yeah, she
I
just posted it.
on
Yeah,
my
thank you.
Instagram. Yeah.
I didn't ask for that or anything, so thank you. You're such a nice.
No, I was going through all my clips and I
Filmmaker.
was like, oh, because I forget. Like the second I get a clip, unless it's like one really gnarly one, I forget what I filmed like almost immediately.
Yeah.
So it takes me until I go back through everything. I'm like, oh, right.
Shit,
I got
Skip's
like,
got a-
I
Skip's
was like,
got a
I
reel
had a
here.
bunch of clips of Skip. Like I was like, I gotta make a little edit out of this, which Instagram is so lame, and I think it's just our attention span. But I was talking to Donovan and my boss, and we were like, yeah, it's, you know, you have the analytics and everything, and nobody watches more than 7 seconds of a video now. It's like if you get over 10 seconds of watch on a video of yours, like you're freaking killing it, which sucks because that kind of destroys for like all the filmers. It destroys wanting to put time in to make an actual edit to like post on Instagram because you're like, oh, people are only going to see the first like maybe 10 seconds. But I know with Skip's edit, I looked at the analytics and it was like almost the whole thing. It was like 20 seconds.
Nice.
It was like the average watch duration.
No
So
way.
people,
All right.
people love Skip.
Okay, sick.
Nothing's weirder than Annie. She's like, I looked at the analytics. I called the guy at Facebook and then the guy at Instagram. We all had a conversation on Zoom. And I found out that there were 3% over the. And I'm like, what the fuck?
The numbers, it's
Yeah.
penciling out. It
Yeah.
sounds like,
Insane.
yeah, wow.
There's so many levels to being young in that world. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just gets like deeper and deeper.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
even
sick. No,
that
thank you.
gnarly into it. But I know a few months ago, I think it was Stab did a article on like surfers that have like real jobs to fund their surfing, and you were like one of their main features. You were like the cover guy, like on their Instagram post. I know you got a lot of like really good press from that. Like, did you know that was happening, or did they kind of surprise you with it?
No, Jamie Tierney is the writer. He got my email or phone number and called me one day and told me about the story. And then I talked to him on the phone. Like we did like a little interview. So I knew it was going to come out. But and he asked me if I knew anybody else that was like on the same boat where they're, they don't make enough from their sponsor or whatever the case is. But they still like, surf and get the job done. So yeah, I knew there was going to be a story. They used a photo of me at one of my jobs. I have my tool belt on. My sister took it, and I have like a hammer in my hand, and I was just like posing, and it looks like I'm just like hard at work. But I don't know if anybody knows, but like, if you look at my tool belt, there's a burrito in it. It was like on my lunch break. I just posed for the photo. Yeah. My sister just came by the job site just to like say what up. And she took a photo, and I just posed. And like, I always laugh because like there's a burrito in my tool belt.
Yeah. You mean you don't normally work with a burrito in your tool belt?
You know what? Since that day, I realized there's this one pouch on the side that like is like perfect circumference of a burrito. Yeah. I just keep one in there. Yeah.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, but it gets soggy, like as burritos do over time.
Yeah.
So I got this special liner with a drain hole.
Perfect.
Yeah, and a straw, actually.
You want to talk about Seagers?
I feel like Seager. Is that a new clay brand?
Yeah, they're fairly new. I think they've been around for, at least.
Are they a local brand?
Yeah, they started locally. One of my friends from La Jolla started it with his two friends. They're based out of San Clemente now. But they make it's like a kind of a cross between like cowboy and surf. So they have like a big presence in like kind of like country music, the country music scene.
Perfect timing.
And they have a surf team, which when they first came out, it was kind of a weird concept. Like, if I'm going to be honest, but it worked. Me and my friends, we always thought it was cool. But it was definitely like kind of a funky idea, but it ended up, they're still around and they're still growing and just a group of cool.
You guys got to get Matt Miola on that thing. Oh, I know. Kill a deer and like jump out. And,
I know he'd be the perfect guy. Yeah,
he's such a dope kid. I love him so much.
That might be in the future. I think his sister might be a country singer.
Lily. She's been on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, and she has performed at one of their parties or something.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I know they know each other. Yeah,
and he sings. Matt's ridiculous. He's out right now, probably gutting a pig and fucking smoking the meat, going to Biggest Air tomorrow. It's like, that kid is such a G.
He's like a real man.
He's a real man.
Yeah, like you watch. Are you a Seinfeld
I get fucking
guy?
Jersey Mike's from DoorDash, and he's probably killing an ahi in my parking lot.
Yeah, and
it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's say again. Sorry, what were you saying?
You watch Seinfeld?
Yeah, of course.
And they're like I think they're like going by like construction site or something. Like, oh, those are real men. We're not real men, are we? No, we're not.
No, we're not real men. No.
Like I might do construction, but like Matt Miola, like gutting pigs and hunting. That's a real man. I'm not a real man.
Started the whole I'm a real man and you guys are pussies.
Yeah,
and I had to live with that my whole life. I went hunting with him and I drank too many beers, so I had to pee. He didn't like that.
Yeah,
if you pee, it's over. Like I did everything as the non-man thing, and he would always keep going. He's like jacked. He's still fucking doing his thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been around real men, and I like to think of myself right in the middle. Of something.
Yeah. There's like, those are real men. I'm probably in the middle
too.
No
fishy.
No.
If you're in the water, you surfy.
Yeah. I can tie a fisherman's knot. I've caught a few trout in my day, but we actually fished on our trip to Hawaii. I got a couple fish. I was like in charge of catching the bait. So, but no, I'm not a fisherman.
Session that you had at Horseshoe? Were there other kids out there are there any other local younger kids from La Jolla that are shredding and going on waves and stuff?
Yeah. Mick Davey is kind of the first person that comes to mind when it's like big and gnarly. He's a few years younger than me. He's probably 21 or something. And then there's kind of like my crew, like Brady Reichart and Tristan Soloway and Fauno and Owen and JoJo is kind of like more my generation. Younger generation charging, Kale charges.
These are all the local La Jolla guys?
Yeah, just trying to think.
Sick.
But yeah, Mick was out there that day, like, and he's like a really talented surfer. He's kind of like probably the next step below like me and my friends as far as like the chargers go, kind of like leading that generation of kids. And then there's an even younger group of Groms that like it's been a long time. Like I feel like there was a big group of like hardcore surfers in my generation. And then there was like a long lull where there was like a couple kids here and there. But now there's like, I surfed Big Rock a couple mornings ago and there was like 8 Groms in the dark, fired up, like hardcore surfer kids, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which it's been a long time since there's been like the real like
Richard Kenvin.
Yes.
That's who I was trying to think of.
Richard Kenvin, yes.
Before Eggers. It was
yes.
Richard Kenvin, and then it was started to go to those guys.
Yeah, Richard Kenvin still rips.
Does he still live in La Jolla and does his thing?
Yeah, he that same day, the horseshoe session, horse tranquilizer or whatever, horse dick.
Meth.
Yeah. Special K's, we'll call it.
Uh-huh.
I surfed after that at another outer reef, and Richard Kenvin was surfing so gnarly. Doonmere,
I know that.
Yeah. So, dude, he was like...
He was ripping?
Dude, he was like surfing like he was like some sort of like 19-year-old psycho charger.
He's in his late 50s.
He's like, I think he's 60 something.
60s.
Yeah. Like giant triple, quadruple overhead waves and just like turning around last minute and like knifing huge drops. He ended up blowing his shoulder out that session, pulling into a huge barrel. I think he like pushed his body to the human limit that day.
The guy we're talking about, Richard Kenvin, was in one of those Chris Beischer movies. Actually.
Yeah.
The only reason I know him, he was in one of those movies. And he was like the legend of where he's from. So it's like kind of cool because there's been a few of them. Is Eggers from La Jolla?
Yes.
So there was David Eggers was one of the biggest legends from the 80s. And you're cutting your own teeth because the lore that I've been talking about this whole time, I remember Richard Kenvin, and I wasn't even really around for that, the whole thing. And then it went from Eggers. Then it probably went, I guess, Saxon's era. And then it went to, I don't know. Like you said, there was a kind of a gap in La Jolla surfing. And now you're kind of filling that gap. And it sounds like you guys got a big crew that might keep filling that gap for a while.
Yeah, there might be another like pro gnarly guy.
Fucking waves get like that again.
Yeah,
in your lifetime.
Like I said, I've surrendered.
Yeah.
If that's it, then whatever. At least I got one of those things, you know.
What's the next surf trip? You just came back from Hawaii. So
you know what? Next? I got to kind of buckle down the next few months or a couple months and just save up some money. I went on like a really long surf bender, started last August, and then kind of ended at the start of the year after that swell. Mm-hmm. So I'm like the free ride of that surf bender is over. I need to like try and make some money again. Hopefully I can, estimate these jobs right and get a little savings going again. Yeah. But yeah, there's a few places I want to go back to, but I'm planning on like just hitting it hard, surfing as much as I can this summer. I might have to sacrifice some time this spring to just make some money and then just go blow it all away this summer.
I mean, that's how it goes. The money will always come back.
Money comes and goes,
Oh, yeah.
Money comes and goes. And you know what? It's kind of more fun to watch it go sometimes. Yeah. Get it and then just let it just flow free in the wind.
I always have to remind myself because I get in like a really like big headset of like there are things that I'm saving for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to put away all my money. So I'll put away like 90% of what I make.
Yeah.
And in my head, it's just like, oh, I can't touch it. Like it's in a savings account that I could totally access.
Yeah.
But like in my head, I don't have that money. That money is gone.
Yeah,
so in my head, I'm like, I'm broke, but I'm also like, okay, you make money and you work to also spend it on fun trips and fun things.
Yeah, you got to remind yourself it's not all about saving and making money. It's about you got to, live your life too, right? you could make a lot of money, but you're definitely not going to Indo for 3 months this year, you know, type of thing.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Where's been the favorite spot you've gone to?
I really like Desert Point, mainly because it's just such a like high performance wave. Mm-hmm. Like as far as like surfing and barrel riding goes, that's up on the list. It's pretty crowded. It's a pretty crowded wave, but I guess like that. I don't know. I got a lot of good memories there.
Yeah.
You surfed
Yeah,
quite a bit of
I was just
deserts in your
thinking
day.
about. I see a lot of your clips as backside tube riding. How the fuck did you learn how to do that in San Diego?
A lot of Big Rock, dude. A lot of Big Rock.
Big Rock, damn.
Yeah. You know,
Big Rock is such a sketchy little barrel.
it's the sketchiest little barrel in the world.
Like almonds and then opens.
Yeah.
And then Joe Roper's fucking nephew stab you in the face and Joel Tudor fucking pretzels you.
Yeah, yeah. But like all the barreling waves in La Jolla are pretty much lefts. So it's like,
Yeah, the place he's talking about, Desert Point, it's probably the most perfect wave in the world. I mean, it's just when you're there on the beach, you literally go into a trance. You're like, oh, your whole life you've been drawing this thing. And it happens every wave. You're like, oh.
yeah, it's pretty crazy,
real.
right?
Yeah.
You've probably surfed it a lot in your
times.
Yeah.
I love deserts. And
And
it's
probably
good.
uncrowded. You probably surfed it uncrowded
I've
before.
surfed it uncrowded. And nowadays, like is Pablo, the bald Brazilian yellowboard? Yeah. There's a Brazilian guy that every swell is there and he catches every set and he's there every day. Like that's how addicted. He's like a meth head for this wave.
Yeah.
He's been there forever.
Yeah.
It's like Janice with fucking NSSA.
Yeah.
Well, she's not
Just
going
there
anywhere.
every
He ain't
time.
going- he's like, I'm getting the sets. It's
Yeah,
like, dude,
yeah.
I got tired of getting sets and like moved on to doing stupid shit like stand up in restaurants and being an asshole.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, that guy's still at it. I was there last summer and
He's still at it, of course.
every time I've ever been there, he's been there.
Yeah.
Which is like not that many times. I guess
that wave
compared
is
to
cool.
him.
Yeah, there's like a couple little things about perfect waves, like Cloud Break too. Same thing at Cloud Break. You don't pull in at the beginning. You don't pull in at the beginning because it's a little sketchy and the wind hasn't because both waves turn around a corner, so the wind gets more and more offshore. So like if you catch it, you have to go to the outside of deserts. I'm not really giving away the secret because fucking whatever, but you have to do certain things at certain ways. Snapper for one. You jump off the rocks, you get the inside, and you go, and you do not paddle back out.
Yeah.
If you paddle, you're just going to waste your energy, and you're never going to be inside of everybody. You have to run around. It's a thing. Like, that's a thing. Well, at deserts, you got to go all the way out, go to the outside, and get the inside, and when the set comes, it's all shitty and not that good at the beginning, and you got to catch it. And as soon as you catch it, you scream at everybody, and you go, and you do not pull into that first barrel because it's all weird. And if you fall, the next 20 minutes is the most perfect wave of your life. So you go around it. And you learn these little tactics and waves, and that's why Kelly's the best surfer in the world. Is because he goes to these waves, he learns how to ride them, and then when this kid that's never been there, he goes, "Oh, I'm pulling this," and then he gets clipped, and Kelly's like, "Bitch, please," and he goes around it, and he knows, and that's what everything in life that's hard to do. You can always get better and better. That's why I think you're going to do well. Is you're doing that with everything that you're involved in. Construction, you're like, if you're going to do something, do it the best you can, straight up, or shit gets really boring and really whack.
Yeah.
And you got to, like you said, you treat it like a sport. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. And if you're in it for the money,
That's the wrong
you're
way.
probably going to get let down because like so many jobs I've done, I either break even or lose money. So like at the very least you can like build something nice that's like you're stoked with
and learn something so the next one you get better and you can actually make money.
Yeah, exactly. So like at least like, you know, you spent like a week, you didn't make a dime, you actually lost money.
Just don't want to.
So you just gotta like, well, at least it came out sick. Like, look at that, you know. So, me and Sterling have been like best friends since we were little kids.
Really?
Yes, he's like a grade younger than my older brother, but like, so he's kind of right in the middle. So we, you know, grew up.
Yeah, Sterling's a good kid.
Yeah, and I know Alana and Chanel. Alana's like 2 grades
Talking
older
about
than
my
me.
family, by the way, for people out there. Sterling is 32 or 3 now. I think 32 or 3. He's like, I think 33. Sorry, Sterling.
33-ish.
And then my Alana, my middle sister, is 29, and she has 2 kids. I love her. And then Chanel she's a horse whisperer in Arkansas right now.
Gnarly, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to middle school together.
Middle school PB?
Meerlands.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sterling was excited. He goes, "Oh, dude, I just saw Skip, and he's coming to the thing." And I think I'm going to come with him because he's nervous and this and that. And I was like, Sterling, you're not going to help him with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you make me nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good kid. And he's, he was shredding. The cool thing about Sterling, when I look at his videos, he really does. We look like brothers when he surfs. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was going to say, he has amazing style, bro. He not only does he rip, but he has amazing style. Both of you guys.
And he's such a good person.
Yeah, he's the best,
He's not like me. Like, he's mellow.
Yeah.
This motherfucker is chill.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not me.
He's the chillest guy in the world.
So cool.
Yeah, we have a football game for my brother's birthday every year called the Bird Rock Blood Bowl. And Sterling was the referee. He lasted about like 2 minutes refereeing. He's like, dude, I can't do this. I'm over it.
Hey,
but we gave special recognition to your dad in the beginning because,
cool.
The football tournament.
So cool.
And we're just a bunch of surfer dudes who don't know anything about football. But
shout out to Jim Weatherly.
yeah, shout out, dude.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah,
he was the
bro.
reason why we were always in La Jolla.
Oh, yeah?
He was the reason, for sure.
He liked it there, huh?
He loved it. That's where he always lived.
Nice.
That San Diego shit. That's why I kind of feel like San Diego's my home.
Yeah.
Taylor Steele and Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you think you guys will ever? I know there's like the momentum generation thing, but you guys ever talk about doing like everybody puts together like their best part and just make like a?
Oh man, you know what I was thinking the other day is I think I want to get back into surfing, get it done because the only time I surf nowadays is wave pools.
Yeah.
So I want to maybe take it serious and in 2 years when I turn 50, put together a surf part because I still can surf, but I haven't surfed in so long. No one's seen me surf in so long, and when I do, it's like shit. So I was thinking about doing that, but as far as the crew, I don't think right now they're trying to make a TV show out of Momentum. They're trying to. Sorry if I'm even actually just allowed to talk about this, but they're trying to make a spinoff of that from the '90s, where the show would be about the '90s, like the '70s show, but about the '90s. So it'd be like shitty video and like baggy clothes. Like we had the worst style. Yeah. I do stand up and I have a joke where it's like I call these kids hipsters right now and I make fun of them and stuff. If what the guys that are older than us saw us wear in the 90s,
yeah,
dude, there were baggy pants that were like yellow with like a stupid oversized shirt. I had like a bowl haircut. I was a total mess.
Yeah.
And I'm making fun of this kid that's tight. He's got his fucking tight pants, like leather boots. And he looks great.
Yeah.
But he has kind of the dorky mustache and the fucking whole thing. So I have to make fun of him because I'm older. So like, hipster. Well, fuck.
Yeah.
What were they? They didn't even come up with it. They were so nice to us. They should have called us trash. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
He looks like a rollerblader and he doesn't even know it. Like, it was horrible. The Momentum crew had the worst style, but we got away with it. We got away with it because we went through so many generations that even the hipster vibe, we were modeling in fucking Dragon ads and shit.
Yeah.
But, I think for me, it's always driven my, not to go and talk about me, but the whole point is surfing means a lot to me, but it's something when I touch the water, I want to still be who I was. So I don't fuck with it anymore. And it's heartbreaking to a lot of people around me because they want to see me surf, but they don't realize that it's like, I talked to Cheeto about it, and Cheeto Vieira is a UFC fighter. I told him, I said, when you retire from fighting, you kind of just stop.
Yeah.
You can still train, be in shape, do the whole thing, but you don't want to get in the ring again because when I get at just any section now, I still try to do giant airs, and my body still wants to do everything I want to do.
Yeah.
And like Rob can surf. He just chills. He'll ride a fucking wave. I've always been a psychopath. When I ride a wave, I want to do crazy shit. And I know now, like, I got to not do it. So it's kind of like I'm trying to find the medium.
Yeah.
And I think, so I'm a passionate person. So I want to, like I said, in a couple of years, on my 50th, I want to go and film like crazy waves, maybe Kandui and a bunch of waves, and put out like a night, fuck you guys. I did it.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. I got to walk away.
Yeah.
I'll longboard with my fucking kids, but I don't want to shortboard anymore, because every time I go down here, everyone's watching and going like, really? You know, like, and I have that, like Rose was saying, anxiety of everyone judging you. And for me, like, even when we made Drive Through a couple years ago, I didn't surf for 4 years before that fucking show.
Yeah.
And I had injuries and everything. And all of a sudden, there's 5 cameras and I have to surf.
Yeah.
And I'm with Dane Reynolds and fucking Kelly Slater, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So, like, just the fact that I had clips.
Yeah.
Like, I think I had a layback and a fucking snap and barrels at the ranch. And I was like, fuck, you know, that's enough for me to be happy, but I don't want to surf long enough to people go like, this guy's faking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a rough line with the way it is, because surfing is so fucking hard that in your late 40s, like, dude, watching Shane Dorian get away with backdoor the other day, we're all telling like, yeah, right on, Shane. Shane owns backdoor, but he's getting to an age where it's like, yeah, I got one. It was fucking dope. Like, I can't believe I got one. And like, what? Like, we're getting to an age where it's like, fuck, we're actually stoked to get a wave. We should still be dominating. Like, Kelly is the only guy at 52 that's still as good as John.
Yeah.
Fucking heavy.
Yeah.
So it's a rarity. I mean, you know, at 28, you just want to surf every single day. Now, I can't. Like, I could, but I want to do airs. I want to fucking...
Yeah, I see a section. You want to do a big alley-oop into the flats, right?
Cuff. So when I realized my torn rotator cuff on my left arm is when I do frontside turns, I always put my left arm in the water. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that until now, where I do it. And I'm like, fuck.
Just on the turn.
Just because when I do a turn, I always put my left arm to crank. And I'm like, oh, it's from years of that?
Yeah.
And then, like, in backside tubes, I always would put my arm here. So it's this torn rotator cuff right here. It's from the 2 things that I made a living on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's why. So you get older and you're like, I don't take care of myself. I have other interests and stuff. But
yeah, for sure.
Definitely stop talking about me.
No, that'd be cool. I mean, go get some, like...
to see old guys have a part come out in their 50s.
That'd be sick.
Like, dude, and put a red song maybe laid to it. So,
and just like treat yourself, go on like a couple sick surf trips, bring Annie to film, right? Yeah, and then just like take like your best fucking 10 waves, you know?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I watched Chris Ward on YouTube the other day because that's all I have is YouTube. And he's probably a year or 2 younger than me. And he was at a Mexico trip and seeing him surf. And I was like, fuck, it's so cool to see Chris Ward surf right now.
Yeah.
And he's, 46, 5 or something like that. And it made me feel something. I was like, dude, it'd be cool to see some clips of me surfing right now, even though it's not as good as it was. And that's what fueled it. I was like, fuck, Wardo's inspiring me right now, which is kind of a lot to say, because that's one of the people I want to bring on the podcast is Wardo. He has such a gnarly story that I've known him since he was a little kid. And he's so interesting and so talented. And just now, he's 45 and went on a surf trip with these best little kid pro surfers. And I was still like enamored by his style. Like, fuck. Wardo's still Wardo, man. That's
that fool's gnarly.
So enough about that, old people stuff.
Well, I back it. I'd be there to watch. I'd go to the. We can do a party, right?
Yeah,
that's the best part about.
Yeah, we'll do a skip part. Well, so in Taylor Steele's movies, the shittier parts, it goes like that. So I'll start. We'll get Sterling's part. We'll do skips.
All right, you guys want to open for me? No. Yeah, right, dude.
Fun,
the Benji's gonna headline that thing, dude.
Yeah. Was your mom a big influence in your success you've had?
For sure. Yeah, she's
even though she's a bodyboarder?
Yeah, she rips at boogie boarding. She has a funny story. Like, she just learned how to boogie board kind of in El Salvador with my dad. And she was like on like a little whitewater, probably like this big. Her and my dad went out, and she's like having the craziest ride of her life, like going towards the shore. She said she feels like she's on like a spaceship or whatever, like craziest ride. And then she looks over at my dad, and my dad's just like just completely bored out of his mind. And I don't know, the way she describes it. Yeah.
Did he put some wax to make her hands a little narrower?
Yeah.
The stance?
Yeah, exactly. She's like,
exactly.
He's
like trying to make her look better.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Show me something, kid.
Yeah.
Your dad sounds like an insane dude.
Yeah.
He's that La Jolla, crusty, demons of dirt, fucking.
Yeah, I call him the Crow Mag.
No leash.
Yeah.
Wearing motherfucker.
Pretty much.
Popping tires, waxing windows.
Pretty much. Yeah. You don't want to fuck with that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's gnarly.
Yeah, these guys, and then the San Diego culture, there's like a couple places, Sunset Cliffs, and a couple places, La Jolla. When I was little, I did your guys' contest, the win and see thing where you couldn't wear a leash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did it one time. And you know what's funny is I end up winning it, and they, I don't think I got the trophy or anything because I was from Hawaii, and they weren't having it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not wearing leashes? And it was such a funny thing because it meant you were a pussy or whatever, because there's rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, they think that's hardcore, right? I'm just come from Pipeline. And I was like, that's not very hardcore.
Yeah,
I
that's
go,
so
dude, you're
funny.
going to ruin your board. Like, fuck,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? But they just have a different, like, dude, Windansea Surf Club, it's called Windansea Surf Club. It was Pat Curran. Some of those biggest legends of surfing in the 50s are from Windansea. So it was like they were the toughest, raddest surfers in the 50s. Right?
Yeah.
60s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah, something like
You know,
that.
you've seen all those photos and shit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Pat Curran is like Joe Curran's writing the book, and he showed me the photos of all the boys back in the day.
Gnarly.
Wasn't Buzzy Trent from there? A bunch of dudes.
Yeah, like all those older
Men.
Greg
Like,
Knoll
real-
generation guys.
Greg Knoll,
Yeah,
all
like the
those
first like Waimea Charger guys.
Yeah, Windansea's got a good surf history for sure.
Definitely. That's cool that I didn't know you can wear a leash in that event now. That's
really?
bullshit.
Really? That's
Dude,
some
I'm taking
bullshit.
I'm making a new rule.
That's
no
some
leash,
bullshit.
dude. We're fucking pussies.
You guys don't.
Everybody.
You guys don't pedal bikes. You guys get to the beach and wear leashes. Like, what are we doing
Dude,
here?
oh god.
No.
I'm ashamed to be from Windansea now.
Yeah, ask
I like
about
let
those
everybody
days.
down.
Go Saxon. Remember those days?
Yeah, dude. Saxon probably that's probably why he never looks
He's
me in
gonna
the
be
eye.
so.
No, I'm just
dude,
kidding.
Hey, shout out to Saxon. He's gonna effing love the. We're gonna take a picture and put it on the thread of me and Skip.
Yes.
he
Yeah.
absolutely loves you. You're like his stepson because he keeps talking about you because not only is it his baby that was La Jolla. I mean, Saxon's always been La Jolla kid. But he was so proud of you surfing the other day and getting those barrels. He's like, dude, this is my boy Skip. He's dominating. These are the best waves you've ever had in my home ever.
Yeah,
And he was
hell
just
yeah, bro.
So it's going to be
Dude.
cool to hear that story. And I'm
Dude,
sure you've seen
thank
Saxon
you.
since you were little, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
He
Saxon's
was
like my
best friends
hero.
with Mike. Like,
Yeah.
New York Mike was his
Yeah.
neighbor or something, right?
Saxon's still my hero. He's still the best surfer at Windansea.
So
hands
killer.
down. You know, like
Love it.
nobody surfs better than that guy at the reefs.
That's so cool.
I mean, yeah, I just ran into him not too long ago. I just drove by him today. He's got a really nice Tesla, all black.
Yeah, I know. He sells homes in La Jolla.
Yeah, Saxon's the man. He's like goals, you know? It's like, fuck.
He's German too. I'd eat with his mom is so cool, and they would cook us German dinners. We went.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Saxon's a beast. Paddle Colony used to call him Super Grom.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pat. And Pat would go at the cons, you're a Super Grom. And Saxon's like 6 feet taller than Pat. And
Yeah.
he's calling him Grom. We used to laugh so hard at that. We're like, dude, you're the Grom, Pat.
Yeah. Is Saxon a candidate to be on the podcast, or
Oh,
has he?
fuck. Everyone's a candidate for the podcast.
Yeah.
For real.
I thank you for allowing me to come on. I don't feel worthy, so thank you.
No,
Like,
you
I'm
kidding?
stoked.
The stories are. It's so cool because Rob was supposed to come on. I brought Rose, and all the things that happen on the podcast. That's why it makes it so great. It's what me and Annie want, and it's what happens is supposed to happen. It's so easy to do this because your story is just like Colby, and I love Colby's story. Colby's story, when he was telling it, I only know him as this gnarly athlete that wins X Games. And he's like, no, I actually was in construction building ramps for other guys. And then he's like, I can probably do it too.
way, yeah.
And then he's like, what? I can do it better than these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And now he builds his own fucking ramps, and he's one of the best in the world. Just won gold right after our fucking thing. He's like, the biggest tournament is in Ventura. And then like a month after our podcast, I'm watching it, and he wins. I
He
was like,
won it
come on.
gnarly, bro. Yeah, what a
Gold.
G.
That was so sick. And just you're gonna catch fire. Because if Cheeto fucking wins the world title, we're good luck.
Oh yeah.
Straight up.
Then it's
Cool.
if you want your career to take off, you come on the
If
podcast.
Slater
Yeah,
wins the
hell
Play
yeah.
Masters, because he was our last podcast, then it's good luck. If
Yeah.
he doesn't, don't ever come on this thing.
Okay. Yeah. Me and my friend Zeke keep bringing him up. We spent
Dude,
a lot
Zeke's
of time
rad.
together.
We're gonna have Zeke on here.
Zeke
You
has
should.
to
He'd be
come
so
on.
stoked. He was so stoked when I told
Dude,
him
his
that I was coming
YouTube.
on
To be
here.
honest, I only watch YouTube, and I watch a ton of his shit.
Yeah,
It's
he's the
dope to
man,
watch.
dude.
He's what is he? The self-proclaimed best surfer in a wave pool.
Yeah, he's
Something
the
like
king
that.
of Waco.
Dude, I love it. We need controversy. We need fun. We need entertainment. Like Sterling Spencer. I like
Yeah.
all of it. Any
Yeah,
of it, dude.
it's just
Bring
fun.
it.
Like
Yeah.
it's just like
And he's putting
carefree.
content out there.
Yeah.
And he usually is. It's like it's our jackass of surfing.
Yeah.
It's always fun to watch. And Jamie O is his boy too, right?
Yep.
And those two guys are killing YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
more power to them.
Yeah, they're just bringing like the fun back to surfing. It's not all serious, you know. Zeke just like has fun.
Yeah, I
Trying
like
to
that he
get some
makes
good
fun of
waves.
himself. That shit makes me happy.
Yeah,
He's like, I just got beat up today. I don't know what I did wrong. Well, I did cut the guy's palm off and flip his
Yeah.
chick off. But, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's the best.
He'll
dude.
be a fun podcast to talk about too.
Definitely, you guys should do that. He's got a good story as well.
Doesn't he have a podcast too?
Yeah, he does.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Gotta watch that one.
But yeah, me and him, we always just say, let's potty.
No.
Yeah. Like, if we're just like gonna podcast or party or just do something.
I
All
love
right. Yeah.
that.
Fuck yeah. Let's potty.
That's sick. I
So,
love that because I
it's-
put it
it's-
out there and my friends all sent me names.
Yeah.
I think I did it on their Instagram or something, right? I did was before I hired you, but I put the mics and I said, all right, suggestions. And all my friends sent me. And one of my friends, I think it was Connor, my IMG manager for Budweiser, Chris Conrad. And he fucking sent Let's Potty. And I go, that's the one.
Yeah.
Let's Potty. Because it could mean I'm going to go to the bathroom. It means I want to party. It means I want to podcast. It means everything.
Yeah.
So it's worked out good.
It's stuck on us. I mean, it's just me and Zeke, but we're always like, all right, fuck it, let's potty.
And he is a potty guy. He just went to JK's, our friend Jeff Kelly's place down in Chileno Bay.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
JK took him with his girlfriends and he pottied down there.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. The potty never stops, bro.
He's sick. So next time we're going to have Zeke. Zeke, get ready, bro.
Yeah,
Do
you're
some
on.
push-ups.
Dude, that's, yeah.
Anything else you want to ask him?
Right. I mean, just thanks for coming on. The
Annie's
podcast.
never
Thank you.
talked this
Yeah.
much in her life, by the way.
Yes,
This
thank
is
you.
definitely the most I've talked on a podcast.
Well, we're like friends. We're not, we're friends now.
Well, the thing
but
is,
we're
so
tired.
she's getting what it takes to do shit like this, and it's really exhausting because she's my co-host, but she hasn't been involved all the time with the podcast. And this time, she did Rose and you back to back. And after Rose, she's like, I don't know how you talk this much.
I was
It's
like, I'm
crazy.
tired.
It was rad because she really wanted to bring you on, and so did I.
Dude,
and it was
thanks,
an awesome
man. Geez,
talk.
Stoked, dude. I'm
more
stoked
power
we
to you. I
finally
can't wait till you
got to
build
link up.
your own home and have your own family and doing your thing, because surfing is literally an important part of it, but more importantly, becoming a man and doing your shit. is
Yeah,
important.
thank you, bro. No,
So
it's all good. It can always be a lot worse, is what I always tell myself. So
And it
just-
will always be better. That's why you're going to get better at fucking
Yeah.
everything you do.
yeah, hell yeah.
That's killer. Thanks, buddy.